Hello. Understand this? Hi.
My Council General, how are you, sir?
I've been doing very fine. How have you been?
I'm doing well. Just trying to get some more light in here. I'm doing well.
Are you in Albany? Are you working?
We really appreciate the help that you have been, without further, you should always have. So under those conditions, I want to stop long enough. I'm not sure if my my chief of staff is there.
Yeah.
Is Marvin Holland there? Okay. So here is what's happening, my Council General. First things first, I'm sorry. How is everybody at the council doing?
We're all doing very fine. Thank you.
All right. And
Looks
your
like,
wife, how is she doing, sir?
She is also doing very fine. She's enjoying herself, playing a little piano, reading some books, and do a little cooking for me.
Well, now I'm going to be kind and I won't say which one is best, the reading, the piano, or the cooking. I would say that all must be fantastic.
Yes, exactly. But you are working now, right?
Absolutely, I am. We are dealing with the budget. We have New York State has a giant hole in its budget due to this illness, and we are coming up with horrific plans if we don't get money from Washington. So yes, I am working, and I'm able not to wear a tie, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't have to, but I just want to try this tie. I haven't been wearing it for a long time.
Well, I am blessed. My family has managed to get by this dreaded illness. I'm waiting. So with that being said, sir, even now I'm being dragged into it, getting a briefing from the state controller, and I am not sure if my chief of staff is there yet.
You mean Marvin?
Yes, Mr. Holland, I see you're in here.
Yes, I am, sir.
I see.
Trying to stay safe and practice social distancing while we're doing this.
Well, I like it. Marvin, why don't you introduce all the people that you have there? Why don't we start that way?
All right, we have Principal, Miss Raven Asor.
Madam Principal, good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Good to see you.
The pleasure is mine. Or at least to see some of you with your mask.
There you go.
We have the Superintendent of District 28.
Good morning, Senator. How are you?
I'm doing well, Madam
Good.
Superintendent. I'm so grateful that you're able to come out and participate.
Very thankful. Thank you.
We are looking forward to a relationship.
Yes.
And as to speak for the Council General, we see this as the beginning of a relationship, but I will let him speak for himself in a moment. We know who you are, Marvin, and I believe we know who this masked young lady next to you is. But why don't
our education expert, Ms. Christian Holness, also joining us from Senator Sanders' staff today.
Yes.
A pleasure. Now, we are, of course, the Council General has been a friend to our community for a long time. And at the height of the crisis, the Council General and the Chinese people were kind enough to send a lot of supplies our way. and we were managing, and if we have saved many lives, it's because of friends throughout the world. And I'm grateful for that. But not to be outdone, he wanted to do more. And he wanted to know what school could we partner with? What could we do with a school? And we are always grateful for that. And of course, I picked one of my favorite schools. Now, Superintendent, all schools are my favorite schools.
Yes.
However, I picked one of my favorite schools to begin the relationship with, or I could say
You're
my
smiling.
favorite school.
Very
So,
much
with that being said, I think it's time to hear from the Council General, and he has another person on the line that he can introduce. But now, our Council General, please, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Senator Sanders, Superintendent Tammy Pate, Chief of Staff Marvin Holland, the principal, and the experts, young lady. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon or morning. And it is my great pleasure to be here with you for this turnover ceremony, or I should say session. And it is to my, and I think everybody's relief that the COVID-19 outbreak has ebbed dramatically here. I mean, in New York City, New York State, as more and more places are going through this reopening in the past few weeks. However, the pandemic is still here. It's not over yet. We still see cases, sporadic cases here, and we have seen increase, actually big increase in other parts of this country, especially in southern states and the western states. What I want to say is, as a diplomat living in New York, I see myself as a New Yorker. So I feel this is my privilege and also an obligation to join hands with everybody here in New York to fight against this pandemic, shoulder by shoulder. So I'm very glad that with the help of Senator Sanders, we are able to donate this 5,000 facial masks. Germain and Green STEM Institute. I hope that our kids can be better equipped for protection during this challenging time. I want you to know that these facial masks are the things we got from a donation from an NGO called Bethune Charitable Foundation back in China. This name, Bethune, is the name of a Canadian doctor. Norman Bethune was a Canadian doctor born and grown up in Ontario, in a small town. He went to China when China was, in the Second World War. He was there to help us fighting the fascism invasion Japan at that time. So with his expertise, he saved a lot of lives. But unfortunately, he got injured in the operation, and this injury resulted in a kind of infection called septicemia. So he died there. He sacrificed his life for the fighting of Chinese people to liberate themselves. So Dr. Bethune has always been remembered for his kindness, his dedication, and most importantly, his spirit of internationalism. I think in fighting the COVID-19, people across the world also need to get together with the same spirit of internationalism. When China was hit very hard by the COVID-19, we got a lot of help from countries across the world, including the United States. China is a grateful nation, and we understand that the grace of a drop of water shall be reciprocated by a gushing spring. So now we are in a better position, and we should return to everything to return the kindness to the people. That's why I have been trying all I can within my power to help these 10 states in my council district to get all those PPEs, masks, and all the other things I could get from China to help the procurement, to facilitate the procurement going through the customs and shipping them as quickly as possible to help the people in my council district. So with the help of this NGO, I have got some facial masks arriving recently. And I'd like to give them to the students. I think the students are the vulnerable people we need to pay special attention to. So here I want to thank Senator Sanders for all your help. I know, Senator Sanders, you are a very warm-hearted person, a very respected senator. You always want to help people in your constituency. Thank you very much for facilitating this donation. And I also want to send my regards to the Germain Green STEM Institute. I've learned that you have more than 500 people there. Most of them are from minority groups. So lots of people, students are learning here, and you have given them lots of care and very good education. I want you to know that we are part of you. We all also want to help my councilor and myself. And I think this is very important at a special time like this. Countries like China, like United States, we need to work together, join hands to fight this war. By working together, not only our two peoples can benefit, but are also playing a leading role for the whole world to work together to fight this pandemic. I think this is very, very important. If we could work together, we can win this war, for sure. Now, I'd like to extend my invitation to Senator Sanders and to the superintendent, to the chief of your office, chief of staff, and to all the students in the institute. When we get over all this, I welcome you to China to see China's 5,000 years of culture. I believe you will find the Chinese people are just like the people of America. We are all very, very good people. We can establish a very good friendship, and we can work together, we can play together, and we can build a very good friendship together. Thank you very much. I will continue with my effort to mobilize more resources and to try to do a better share of myself as a New Yorker. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you kindly. You have been speaking and being consistent on these things for many years. We have had conversations on many different things, including seeing if we can get teachers of Mandarin Chinese
Yes.
to come and teach in our schools. Since the economy of China is blossoming and growing, it would be wise for the American people as a whole, and my community in particular, to understand how to speak Mandarin Chinese. I look forward to continuing that conversation with you as we speak about leading perhaps a delegation of children, of students to China to see what we can do. The superintendent may not be aware that I led a delegation of elected officials to China just last year. It moved so fast. And would have led another one this year had we not been overtaken by COVID. But I look forward to not only leading elected officials, but why not real people, the people of my district, the students of my district,
Yes.
China, and begin this conversation. In a moment, I'm going to turn this to our superintendent and then to our principal. I see we have another speaker on the line who has not identified herself. I will give her a moment to at least identify herself. Madame, would you care to identify yourself? Your name is in Mandarin, so I cannot say it until I get taught. But Mr. Ambassador, do you have anyone else on the line with you?
Yes, I got a team here working with me, and this is the Deputy Consul General Chen Jing. And I'm the only one without my masks.
Of course.
All wear their masks, so I should have wear them.
No, you did right. As long as you keep the social distance, we although we'll know who he is, we want to see your face.
Yes.
Madam Superintendent, please forgive me as I run back to a meeting over the budget, because they may be talking about cutting education, and I think that you want me in that meeting.
We want you in that meeting, sir.
Oh, absolutely. But Madam Superintendent, Marvin, Mr. Holland, if you can make sure that we hear from the superintendent, that we hear from our principal, and anyone else who needs to. Everyone else, forgive me. I'm going back to the front. There's a fight going on, and I look forward, my Council General, to the days when we can sit down and speak of Mount Tai again.
Sure, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
So keep your fight going and get the budget for education.
Yes.
That's very, very important.
Yes, Mount Tai was an inside joke, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, I have that.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much for your speaking. And next, we will give the video camera to the school, the principal, the chief of staff to say a few words.
I just want to thank everyone, especially Senator Sanders, for making sure that our students have access to protective masks in the coming school year. Obviously, we don't know what the future will hold, but it brings a great sense of comfort, of safety and security to know that when we do re-enter the building, every student in our school community will have access to gear that will help keep all of us safe. So thank you so much for considering our school, and we're really grateful for this partnership. Thank you.
Yes.
And I want to add to Principal Askew by thanking the Chinese General Consulate of New York, and as, of course, our own Senator Sanders, for being mindful of our community. The Community School District 28 is a wildly and beautifully diverse place for children to learn and to grow, and for adults to build the future, to predict the future by building. And to be top of mind in this way means more than we can express. Being mindful of the health concerns of our community and of our children, our parents, the adults that support them, is really proof in the pudding, as we say in the South. It is proof that we are mindful, that you are mindful of us, and you are really thinking about what is best for our schools and for our children. I want to say thank you on behalf of the entire Department of Education, and very, very specifically for the 23,500 people, children that participate in Community School District 28. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you.
Well said. I want to thank Principal Askew, Dr. Payton, for first coming out on such short notice. It was last minute, and I know I drove everybody crazy over the weekend. And I want to thank the Chinese consulate. And hopefully this is the start of a relationship where we can make sure all of the schools in the district, in the city, have the proper equipment that they need when school starts back up. So I thank you on behalf of Senator Sanders and everyone in District 10. Thank you to the Chinese consulate, and let's continue to do this work to keep people safe.
Thank you. That's it.
And we can invite Ambassador to say a few words.
I've said what I said, but I want to say, please remember my invitation. When this is all over, I would like to invite you to my consulate, you and the kids, students, to see how we work here as a diplomatic mission here. And we're looking forward for that day to come earlier. So let's work together.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador, for your inspiring words, and thank you for the Chief of Staff, the Principal, and other representatives from the school. Thank you all very much, and please accept now invitation from the Consulate General. This is the end of this ceremony, and stay safe and happy every day.
Thank you.
Yeah.